world. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
What's going on, everyone? Country with Celine here. I am back, and on today's episode, I'm so excited to welcome back Charly Reynolds.
A girl like me would never. He was my forever, but off the rack between you and me, I've been lying straight through my teeth. He's sleeping in a bed he made, and now that bed's 6 feet deep. You'd understand if you only knew all the hell that he put me through. My guilt is light as a feather. I've never felt better, but that's off the record.
Charly, how are you doing today?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Okay, first off, how was your summer?
So good. Did lots of traveling and just planning for the album and stuff, and it was really good.
That's
I'm sad
exciting.
it's over.
I know. Can you believe that 2024 is coming to an end?
No,
It's
I honestly
insanity.
can't.
It's
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it flew by. It really did fly by. And now 2025 is right around the corner. But before we get into all things 2025, because new year, maybe some new music, although you did release your debut album this year. So I know you're going to want to carry that into 2025, of course, which artist wouldn't? So let's just chat about your debut album off the record. So talk about the process of it.
Yeah, so I've just wanted to do an album for a really long time. And I've had fans asking like, when are you going to be done with singles and like do an album? And so I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to do it now. And so I decided that last fall that this year I was going to go and I was going to do an album. And I started working on it last fall. And it was hard, honestly, because I was trying to pick, like, we have so many songs that we've written,
Yeah.
like, over the last 6 years that I've lived here. And it was just like, which ones do I pick? And I just really went with like my favorites and also just the ones that I think people would like and really connect to. And so it was fun to like have the creative control and pick and do the photos and everything. It was a really fun process, all of it. I loved it all.
Which one would you say was the oldest song on there that you've had in the vault for so long and now you finally got to
Oh,
it to be out?
I'm like, let me look at the track list. I think it might be Freedom Ain't Free. I'd have to look at the track list to like even think of the ones that
So
are on.
fair.
But I think that it's Freedom Ain't Free because that one's at least 2 years old. So yeah, I think it's that one, I would say.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I listened to
Playing
your
it
whole
out.
pardon.
I've been playing it out for like 2 years too. So that doesn't seem like that long, I guess, but yeah.
You know, if you think about it, 2 years is still quite a ways away.
It,
Like it's far back into the past when you really think about that.
it
And
is,
all you
yeah.
artists, you guys have so many songs because you're constantly writing, you're constantly going to
Yeah.
write and releasing music, well, testing out music to other artists and so and so. So you guys have so many songs locked away in the vault. So it's nice and it's refreshing when you can finally release it into the world and be like, hey,
Yes.
I've had this for so long, but you know what? It's time that it should be out here and you should listen to it. And everybody should listen to your album because I took a listen to it from top to bottom and I loved it. I loved every
Thank
minute of it.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But one specific song that I do want to just talk about because how special it is to you and from my perspective as well as someone who's lost a parent, it is a very touching, moving song and you really do wish there was visiting hours in heaven. And I know you
Yeah.
wrote this song for your brother. So I just want you to kind of talk about how was that moment or how special was that moment when you finally got to show your whole family and let them hear it for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, with that song, it was tough because I've been wanting to write a song for my brother about my brother for like years. But I just never like had the right idea. And so I was just waiting till I felt like I had the right one and the right co-writers with
Yeah.
me. And one day I got the idea for visiting hours and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time we write this. And so we wrote it and it was so special. And I sent the demo that we did the day of the write to my parents, and they just were like sobbing.
Of
And
course.
it just brings back memories, and like with that song too, it was cool because I wasn't like really writing it to release it. I was writing it because I wanted it.
Yeah.
And then when we wrote, after we wrote, I was like, okay, this has to come out. But one thing I wasn't like prepared for in the release, or like that I didn't think about, was just like when I put it on TikTok, it did really good. And people were using the sound and like reposting it. And I like didn't think about seeing everyone else's stories, of people that they're thinking about, while listening to the song. And so it was like very emotional, just, and also a proud moment, like for us and like the writers, because it was like, wow, look at the emotions we've made people feel with this song, and like the happy memories that we've brought
Yeah.
back with this song, and like how we can connect like that. It's like really special when you write a song that you can connect so deeply with other people. So it's just really cool to be able to do that.
I feel like that topic specifically too can resonate with a lot of people because I don't think I know one person who, and if they have never lost anybody in their life, that is
You're very
amazing.
blessed.
Very,
Yeah,
very, truly blessed. But
yeah,
for the most part, everybody has lost either a family member or a friend or someone that they were just close to. So hearing a song like this, it does bring back a lot of sad memories, of course, but it also brings back a lot of happy memories. And it makes you really realize that you should cherish every single minute you have on this earth because tomorrow is not granted. Like every day
yeah.
is a gift from God, and you should just take it and cherish it so much because you never know what's going to happen. And that's the beauty too about songwriting and like releasing music like this because it can connect with so many people and
Yeah.
you don't know it at the time, but you realize afterward, just like when you said you posted on TikTok, and it just turned into a beautiful special moment for yourself, for your family, and also for everybody else that has listened to it.
Yeah, 100%. It was really, it felt really like a milestone too, just as a songwriter, to be able to write from that vulnerability, and like I said, just be able to connect with an audience on that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
with, like you said, with like literally everyone. Like,
Yes,
everyone
exactly.
unfortunately can relate to that for the most part. Um, so yeah, it was just a very special song.
Well, if you haven't listened to it already and you're taking a listen to this podcast, please go check out Visiting Hours on Charly Reynolds. I was going to say podcast, but we're going to get to that too on her
Yeah.
debut album, Off the Record. But a song that I do want to mention as well, you put a cover song in there, I Will Survive. So, why did you decide to toss in this one? I feel like there was definitely a reason behind it.
Well, yeah. So with I Will Survive, so I love that song, first and foremost, but I have this like memory of when I was younger and I walked into my brother Kyle's room and it was playing, and I just remember that, and ever since then I've just really liked that song. And so a few years ago when I played at Miranda Lambert's bar, I started playing that every weekend, and like the response was just crazy. Like people loved it and it was fun. And I was like, you know what? I play it at every show. Like, why don't I do my own version of it? And so we did. And it was kind of scary because I love the original so much. And it's like one of those iconic songs
Mhm.
that I was kind of nervous about doing my own take on it, because the original is just so good and I didn't want to mess it up, or like do a bad job, or not do it justice. And so I was kind of nervous, but then I just loved it. It came out cool. We had some banjo in there, fiddle in there. It was like kind of
Yeah.
like a country version of that song. So yeah, I just honestly love that song. So I thought, why not?
Why not get it out into the world? But
Yeah.
you do have the voice for those songs where they're like a Celine Dion, a Whitney Houston, like you have that sort of voice where you can reach that level. And
Thank you.
honestly, your whole story too with your voice, like the fact that you got it back to like now is insane. And like that's unbelievable. Like good for you on that because you
Thanks.
went through a lot.
I did. It was a really long long process after
Yeah.
vocal surgery, but you know, it's still like different. It's still a struggle. Like I definitely can feel a difference in my voice. Like it needs a lot of warm up time and a lot more rest, but it's still back. Like I can still sing like I could before, and it's just different, It's just a learning thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's so interesting.
Well, actually talking about just singing and stuff like that, you used to do this TikTok, well, these videos. I remember you used to post. I don't know if you still post them anymore when someone would say like, "Hey Char, like sing
Yeah,
this song, sing this song." You still do that?
I need to do it more.
Okay.
I did it I think fairly recently, but I need to do it more. That was like my thing. That's why I
Yeah.
do my podcast HR and like everything. So I need to do that again.
You do need to do that again. I don't know why. Something when you were just talking right there, it just like struck a memory. I'm like, before I forget, I
Yes.
want to mention this and just talk about it real quickly.
Yes. The
But since,
HR series.
yeah, well, speaking of
Yeah,
HR, you got a podcast now called
I
HR.
do. I
So
do.
how did this come to be, and what's the goal with this podcast? Because I know you've been having singers up on there to kind of talk
Yeah.
about A, their journey, or B, like you were mentioning in one episode how you thought when you moved to Nashville, you would be like, oh, the next Carrie Underwood. But
Oh yeah.
it doesn't happen like that. And we all know that
No,
Nashville's a 10-year town.
it
Um,
is.
so just talk about like what inspired you to start up that podcast.
Yeah, so I've just always kind of wanted a podcast for a long time. I didn't even know what about. I just thought it'd be kind of fun and
Yeah.
different. And I just kind of realized I'm the kind of person I need like hobbies because I am such a workaholic and like my
So
mind does
fair.
not stop. And
Mm.
like unless I'm doing, have something else to be doing that's not music. And so I was like, I need my mind like taken off of music sometimes and I need to like be doing something different and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a podcast. And I was gonna start it like a year ago and then I chickened out and I was like, no, I can't do it. Like I'm not gonna be able to do that. And then this year I was like, no, I'm doing it. Like I've been wanting to do it. Let's start it. And it's been so fun. I love the editing. I love video editing. I'm still experimenting with like, I have three cameras set up,
Oh,
and
shoot.
the
Okay.
reason, well, yeah, well, my roommate has two cameras. I have one. So I was like, sweet. Okay, well, we'll do this. But it's like, I'm learning, and the reason why I haven't posted like the full interviews is because half the time my camera's out of focus or one dies, and it's just like such a learning curve for me. But it's just been fun. I've had some friends on, like Emily Ann Roberts, Hayden Kaufman, Grace Lear. I think that's it right now. I'm gonna have Bells on there, and yeah, I really just wanted to bring in other artists and creatives, like if any, like actors, whatever, whoever,
Mhm.
and just kind of like learn their story because I think that stuff's fun and I don't know, it just gives me like another creative outlet to do.
Well, even if you don't have a guest on your podcast, you can always just do it yourself because
True.
you're an artist yourself. So you have so much to talk about. Like you could talk about your journey, talk about your music, which you did that episode, your latest
I
one that you
did.
released. Yeah, that's cute. You did like a watch party with like your album and you kind of went through every single song on there. So
Yes.
you can always do that too. Now, where do
Yeah.
you film this? At your house?
Yeah, so it's like so we have three bedrooms and so that one's like our downstairs bedroom. The guests stay in, but now it's like the podcast room. So
I love it.
yeah, yeah. So it's fun. And it's funny when I did that episode, I was like, this is so much easier when I do it myself because I was just done in like 30 minutes and then I only had one camera, so it was easy. And I was like, this is perfect. But yeah, I guess I need to just come up with topics. I guess I never thought about doing them really by myself until that because I was like, maybe I'll do an album breakdown, so people can hear
Yeah.
the behind the scenes of every song. But yeah, no, I should do that more often.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's fun and I feel like there's so much to talk about too. Like not even just about yourself, but about what goes on around in the world. Obviously,
Yeah,
we keep it light. We don't ever want to talk about all the politics and stuff like
yeah,
that because
yeah,
that's like a whole other podcast.
for
Um,
sure.
but there's just so much stuff that you can talk about. You could even talk about the CMA awards too if you want to keep it country. So I
Yeah,
mean, the variety is there and that's what people on the radio do, right? We come together and think about a bunch of different topics to talk about. And it's fun. It's like a little outlet.
It is. It's just, it's fun to be able to do something different too. I just love it.
Yeah. Now, who would be your like a guest that you would love to get on? I feel like one guest that I would suggest to you, which I feel like it could happen, Megan Maroney. I don't know why. Like that girl, first, she's
She's
popping
awesome.
off. She
Yes.
is. She
Yes.
seems so nice, and I feel like she has a lot of boy stories, which I feel like would be so
Yeah.
fun to just chat about.
No, they are. She's definitely got like the juicy stories, I feel
Yeah.
like, you
Oh,
know.
for
I
sure.
would love to have her. And I would also love to have like Dolly, dream guest, Dolly or Reba. Like, I really am so curious about learning like their stories. And I know we can read about their stories, like whatever, but it'd be fun to just hear it firsthand, like them coming to Nashville and like what that looked like back then for them and like how,
Yeah.
they've kept, how they turned into like legendary artists. It's just an interesting thing. I would literally love to sit down and talk about that.
And to even keep with the times too, and to make sure you're still relevant, because I feel
Yeah.
like, especially with Dolly Parton
Hard.
too, she's from like way back when, like when country music was like kicking up. And then now it's a completely different generation, but she still finds ways to kind of get involved. Like even with Post
Yes.
Malone, like they
That
released a
girl's
song.
everywhere.
She is
She is
everywhere.
literally everywhere. She did the thing with Post Malone and then she um did like a rock album and
Yes,
she
yes.
got a new cookbook. I'm like,
Go
she don't
off.
sleep. Like she literally does so much. It's amazing. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
She's one of those singers that will never completely vanish unless she
Yeah.
wants to like get out of the
Unless she
spotlight.
wanted to. Yeah.
But she never will for as long as she's around right
No,
now.
definitely not.
But actually talking about Dolly, how's Dolly Parton?
She's so good. She is chilling. So normally at this time of year, she's very fluffy and cute. But I shaved her because every Christmas, she has to get shaved, and it's like so cold. And I also want her cute and fluffy for Christmas, because she just gets matted. She's a Labradoodle, so
Yeah.
her fur gets really matted. But so right now she's a little skinny queen. She's all like shaved down and like different looking. She looks like a different dog. But she's good.
It's so funny when you shave them down, they look completely different.
Terrifying. She looks, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't love it.
Especially when their like snout is all shaved too, and it's just that long beak looking.
Yes,
It's
it
like,
literally is like a beak. It's like it's so long. And then her tail, they shaved her tail down completely. So it just looks like a rat tail. It is so bad. So bad.
that's
But it's okay. In like a month, she'll be back.
yeah, and a month. Yeah, it takes a while. I remember when
Yes.
my mom got my dog shaved, and they did a bad job. This
Oh no.
one place, and you've definitely experienced that when
I
they
have.
do. Yeah, not fun. And we had to keep like a little shirt on her because
Oh,
poodles especially because mine's a miniature poodle. They get embarrassed, like, and you
yeah.
can sense that they won't be around. They'll always be in a ball. Like when they're not feeling
Yes.
themselves, you'll know. So she was always like curled up. She felt naked, first of all,
That's
because she
so
had no
sad.
hair. Yeah, so we had to
Yeah.
keep like a little top on her. But then as soon as she felt better, it was like, all right, I'm ready to go, ready to be pet, ready
Like I'm
this.
cute again.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm cute and pretty again. I'm ready
yeah.
to go out into the world again.
They have such personalities, like dogs, but especially poodles. They
Yes.
are, if you are looking to get any dog, I would highly recommend a poodle. Like either if
Yeah.
you want to get a small one, a miniature poodle, or if you want to get a bigger one, a Labradoodle.
Yeah.
Best dogs.
They are just hilarious. Like, there's never a dull moment with Dolly. Like, she's always got either like an attitude or she's just like a funny attitude or a diva attitude. Like, she's just has so much personality. Like, and I've never seen that. I've had dogs my whole life. And I had another dog, it was French Bulldog, that had like some personality, but nothing like
No.
Dolly. Like, I've just never seen anything like it. So, think you're right about that. Poodles are definitely a good choice if you want a dog that's gonna like keep you very entertained.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
dogs take after their owners too. And
Yes.
it's so weird how that is, but they're so much like us.
Yep.
But dogs are the best. Honestly, we could talk about getting a
Oh, I
dog
know. I know. I
for
can talk about them all day long. Like I just love love dogs so
They're
much.
they are the best.
Yeah.
But actually too, you kind of mentioned it, so I'll just bring it back a little bit too. I forgot Miranda Lambert's bar, Casa Nova, or Casa Rosa. Casa
Casa Rosa.
Rosa.
Yeah.
That's it. Are you still performing there?
No, so after my vocal surgery, I just can't really do 4 hours anymore. It's a lot on my voice.
Fair
So
enough.
I
Yeah.
don't, but I have I think twice. They were kind enough to give me like an hour set at CMA Fest last year, which was great. And then I can't remember if I've done it again. Maybe that was the only time. But yeah, so I've performed there one time since then, but it's been like almost 2 years, which is crazy because I was there every Friday and Sunday for quite a while. So I loved it though. It was fun. I would do it again if once, maybe in a few years, if my voice gets a little better, we'll see if I can handle it. But yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, every time I thought of that bar, I would just think of you. Like,
I know. No, so many people tell me that, which is so funny. I love that. I mean, it was like my spot. I love the bar and I love the food. It's just a great atmosphere. They did a good job of like making it very fun and,
yeah. And very,
glittery, girly. I love it.
yeah, I was gonna say very girly, very pinky in
Yes.
there, which is very you.
Exactly. And it was funny because like when I would play sometimes at Jason Aldean's, I was pretty much always at Casa Rosa, but sometimes if I filled in or whatever, I like would go to Jason Aldean's and I was like, I don't thrive here like I do over there because it's
Different.
it's just different. There's like deer head on the wall and it's very like
Oh,
guy-ish. And I was just like, I just feel like so much more myself over there, with my glittery guitar, and Jason Aldean's doesn't fit the same.
that's
And I love Jason Aldean's, but it was funny, like as a performer, I was like, I just feel more myself, like over there.
that's so
For
fair.
sure.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
picture you performing at Aldine's bar. I just,
Yeah. It
yeah,
wasn't the same. It wasn't the
no.
same. Yeah.
But do we have any upcoming shows coming up for you?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm doing an off the record tour. So that's the name of the album. So we were supposed to start it in Florida last weekend,
Mm,
but was it last
yeah.
weekend? Maybe the weekend before that. But Hurricane Helene hit, and it was like if we were driving down there, we would have literally drove the exact path of the hurricane.
Okay.
Um, and that's just not safe. So
No.
we pushed that show to November 8th in Orlando. So I'm starting it this weekend, tomorrow, actually, in Western Springs, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. So we're playing there, and then I'll be in Maryland and South Carolina, Orlando. I don't know. I gotta look, but yeah, we'll be in quite a few different places. So I'm excited.
And when does it wrap up? Like, how long are you doing this for?
December.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna have a busy like October, November, December. Oh,
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited. That's like what I want to do. I want to be on the road every single weekend. I love performing, so I'm just excited to be able to get to do that. And I'm opening for Priscilla Block actually next week in Tallahassee, Florida. So that will be super fun too.
that is gonna be really fun. I feel like you guys should get up there and do like a badass song together.
That'd be so much fun.
It w-
So much.
it would be a lot of fun. And now with 2025 right around the corner as well, what do we have planned for this year? I know, like I was mentioning, obviously you want to keep pumping out your debut album,
Yes.
but I'm sure you still got other surprises up your sleeve.
Oh yeah. Well, before 2025, I am releasing a Christmas song, an original Christmas song. So that's exciting.
Okay. Yes, that's so
Yeah, we're
exciting.
shooting the cover art after this. Um, so we're doing that, and then a music video for Off the Record as well will be coming. And then into 2025, I'm really just gonna keep pushing the album, like you said. Maybe some more music videos with songs off of the album, and just, hopefully a lot of more shows to
Yes.
come. So I'm like praying to get on a tour or something, because I think that would be really fun. But me and Belle's, do you know Belle's?
You know what? I don't think I know her personally. No.
Okay, she's great, but we're doing some shows together in Texas and stuff in 2025, so I'm super excited about that.
Oh, that it's going to be so fun then.
Yeah,
Well, you're going to
yeah,
have a busy 2025 regardless. So
yeah,
that's going to be
for
super
sure.
exciting. Yeah. No, for sure. Well, everybody, please listen to her debut album, Charly Reynolds' debut album, Off the Record. It's out everywhere. Go stream, go download, go do all the fun things. Listen to her podcast too, Hey Char. And you can find that on, is it on Spotify and like Apple
Yes.
Podcast? Is that what we're
Yep.
on? Okay.
Yeah. I
Ev-
think those are the main ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are the only two that I always really think of. But
Oh,
there are
same.
like
There are
multiple. There
others. I
are.
just don't know what they are really, but I do know Spotify and Apple it is on there.
That's too funny. Well, thank you so much, Charly, for joining me today on Country with Celine. It's always nice having you back here and getting to chat. And next time I come to Nashville, we got to get drinks again.
Oh, I'm so down. I'm so down. Thanks for having me.